scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, hold on. 950. I'm here all day.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Buying time to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm on. Check 52. Go! It comes to me, it's me. Go!
Now a handoff looking right. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Go! Mike 52. Squeeze, double.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Come on, QB, come on. Check 9. 66. Bullet high.
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A four-receiver look here. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. A man over the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 14. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Well, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, you know.
That too.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 2nd and 9 now. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards, first down, Packers. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go again.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Now back to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Second and 10.
I got you, boy.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving and past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list.
Check the backer, check the backer.
Recon, 132 fight. Ready.
Back to throw here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They go play action here on 1st down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Check mark. Watching the alpha. All day, dog.
Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55.
They'll set up to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. From the 3-yard line again, they'll try and punch it in here on 3rd and goal.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
Watch the run.
Ready, go.
He'll drop to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. You can already start to hear this crowd. They're saying, go for it.
Yeah, have we ever been at a game where you've heard the crowd go, field goal, field goal?
No, I have not. That's a good point.
Yeah, they always want to go for it, and I think they've got the right idea right now. The way they've moved the ball in this drive, I wouldn't stop that momentum. Go get it.
The kick by Lambeau is good, and the lead moves to 10-zip. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw. He's got Smith here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
56. Mike, 56. 56.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Steps away to his left. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Miles Jack with a sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go. Let's do it.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. They'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that. The rookie gets his first interception.
You have to have guys who can limit the other team's number of plays run and possessions. And no better way than an interception. And what a great way to break into the league.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down again. Frank Clark, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This will be fielded at the 17. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Even. 4 down. Even. I got 11. Alert 3. Alert 3.
30 topper.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Second and long. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's first and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. They'll set up a throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first.
Through an opening, and there he goes. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 68 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that.
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes our score 17-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
You better be afraid of me.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As his guys are in for 6. Then the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead is now 24. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And to give this time to the tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, It's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming.
Take 4, take 4.
They'll try and throw for it here. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 28.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now a handoff here to his running back, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Looking to throw. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Stephon Diggs. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that will extend this big lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off around the 37. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Slam, slam, slam.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Keep playing. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 30-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Again, they'll run with Bettis. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down.
All day, all day.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get point.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 49 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
You got tight. You got tight right there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll give it here to his running back. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. This is taken at the 18. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
Mike 56, Mike 56. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 13. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And they will take a knee here. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 60 orange.
Hold this.
And they take a knee. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
65.
Echo.
Check. The mic. Check. 55 the mic.
Hot, hot.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Jaguars, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2, and they'll get a